Akshay, Artemis Student Challenge, go ahead. You got it. And if anyone on Zoom cannot hear what's going on, flag us down. I think it'll be okay.
All right, sounds good. Hey guys, how are you guys doing? My name is Akshay. I am a student here at the University of Minnesota. I have been doing research for a very long time, and I've been associated with the Minnesota Space Grant for around 4 years. I started in high school. I am no longer doing research with the Minnesota Space Grant, but I was asked by Professor Flaughton here at the U of M to do a presentation on the Artemis Student Challenges. So a little bit more about me. I've been part of the piloting ballooning team for a while, and then I've also been part of an Air Force research project for the next 2 years, also associated with the High Altitude Ballooning Lab. And then last summer, I worked on the MOXIE Perseverance, the MOXIE device on the Perseverance rover through at the MIT Haystack Observatory. So I've had various experiences in research, and I'm here today to talk to you guys about the Artemis Student Challenges. So a little bit about what the Artemis Student Challenges are. The main purpose of the Artemis Student Challenge is to get astronauts back onto the moon. Primarily, they want to get more diversity in their space program by getting women and people of color on the moon again. And the main incentive is to also encourage that amongst students and amongst faculty all across the world, and specifically in the United States and in colleges around in the United States. So the idea is to promote the Artemis program, get people excited and get people involved with STEM. And they are doing so by having innovative challenges across the universities across the United States, and having these challenges incorporating various innovations that students can get involved with. So for my presentation here, I'm going to be talking to you guys about three challenges that I found interesting, and then a list of challenges that you all can get involved with as well in the future. So the first one that I kind of want to talk to you guys about is this project, or this challenge that I found really interesting, which was, it's called Lunabotics. And so it's hosted by the Astronauts Memorial Foundation. And it's basically a competition of challenges with university level teams to use NASA's system engineering processes to design, build, and operate a lunar robot. And so this team will perform in public outreach and submit system engineers papers, present
Sorry to interrupt you. You turn on your camera, so your camera.
Sure.
So others can see you on Zoom, of course.
Oh, you Zoom?
Yep,
You got it?
Good.
Started, okay.
Okay.
Sorry to interrupt. Keep on.
No worries, no worries. This project, this challenge is one that is, do you want me to unmute as well?
No,
You're fine.
This is a very interesting challenge for a lot of students to participate in. It's specifically it's actually for all engineering students, but people who are interested in robotics, people who are interested in machine learning, and even like mechanical engineering skills are primarily the students who usually participate in these challenges. And it's just a very interesting concept for people to just get involved with the lunar projects. So this is a challenge. These start dates, these happen every year. So the challenge that for 2022 has already started. But if you're interested in participating in 2023, you can register in the late summer, and you will be able to participate and propose your final submission in late May of 2023. So that was the first one. The second challenge that I found, which was interesting, which is a bit different from the last one, was this challenge called the Spacesuit User Interface Technologies for Students Project, or short for SUIT. So this challenge is actually created to design a spacesuit information display with augmented reality environments. So as NASA pursues Artemis landing American astronauts on the moon, the agency will accelerate investing in the surface architecture and technology developments. And so they're doing so by using artificial intelligence to create an interface where students can participate and learn about the astronaut suits and create a more efficient suit for astronauts so that they can withstand the environment of the moon. This challenge itself incorporates a lot of various skills. In this picture over here, you see that a man who's using a HoloLens, and that HoloLens, it uses augmented reality to kind of mimic the back of the surrounding of space, and having that person use a spacesuit And ultimately, it requires programming skills, understanding of AR, and participants also show a lot of interest in coding and machine learning. So if you're interested in participating in this, there are review dates where you can submit your applications by late September or late summer in 2022. And then you'll be able to do a review project and then finally test out your project in mid-May of 2023. So if you're interested in that, there are also links on the bottom of every slide that I'm doing as well. So the next one is GLEE, or it's also known as the Great Lunar Expedition for Everyone. And you guys, if you were here in the morning in this room, you guys probably already heard the presentation. That they did a really good job of explaining what the project was, but just a brief explanation for the people who did not hear what it was. But it's a scientific and technology mission on the moon that will deploy 500 lunar sats and to the lunar surface to conduct local and distributed science missions. And these lunasats are these tiny spacecrafts that have integrated sensor suites and that will be programmed by teams all over the world for a mission for their own design. So the GLEE team that did their presentation here, they talked about using printed circuit boards and adding sensors onto that so that you can collect data as your own individual Lunasat and then also part of a more integrated Lunasat project that is meant for all of the teams to come in cohesion with. So the registration for this is actually April 4th, 2022. So if you're interested in doing something like this, you can register. It's coming up very soon. And they're also talking about doing workshops, doing remote workshops. So if you're really interested in that, just go to glee2023.org for more information. And this is available for all undergraduate students attending a 2 to 4 year university, and people who are attending all majors can participate in it. So it's very inclusive. So obviously those are just 3 of the many Artemis student challenges that I found interesting. And out of those many student challenges, there are also all of these as well. And I think my face is in the way, but so you can look at all of these. Right, so out of all these challenges, there are obviously various challenges here. Out of the many, I can just list a few, but there's the Human Exploration Rover Challenge, which is basically a challenge that comprises of building a human-powered rover. So using no electronic whatsoever to build a rover, which is very cool. Others like the Big Idea Challenge is design a robotic system for an alternative to the rover locomotion, which is really cool as well. And there's also the First Nations launch, which is very interesting as NASA is trying to improve its diversity. It's a challenge specifically for Native American and tribal college students to demonstrate their engineering skills and design their own high-powered rocketry and show off their skills in that field. So lots of cool challenges. And outside of just Artemis challenges, there are also these other college challenges for students who are interested. It's like AIAA also has their own challenges that you can also visit. If you are interested in getting all these links, you can ask me later on after the presentations are over, and I can send you a copy of this presentation, all these links as well. Actually, one of the challenges that I participated in was a Deep Space Food Challenge. It's closed now, but it's not an Artemis challenge, but it essentially is a challenge where you are given a time period and you're trying to figure out a plan to how to feed astronauts during that 9-month period, which is sustainable and can help in even not just areas in space, but also in areas that are developing in the world where they may not have access to all the resources. So those are just all the challenges. These are some future challenges that are going to be occurring soon. The Artemis Challenge recently funded 6 big challenges, but these are the ones that we can actually participate in. So Washington State Space Grant has one called the Lava Tube Robotics Challenge. Hawaii Space Grant has the low-cost space-ready CubeSat kits. And the California Space Grant also has their own Leapfrog, which is a lander programming challenge. So these are all just really cool future challenges that you can participate in. Ultimately, just as some tips and tricks for you to understand if you really want to get involved. First of all, the Artemis challenges, just like any other challenges, they're very unique challenges that you can get involved with. Outside of classes, it's very hard to get that in-person field experience because in school we usually learn the theory behind it. There's always very little exposure to in-field experiences. So participating in these Artemis challenges is very beneficial and can also help you add various skills to your skill set. But if you are really interested in attending or participating in these challenges, make sure that you do your own research first. It's very important for you to do your own research because when you're kind of getting involved, you have to make sure that you have all the skill sets before you actually get involved with it. Other things is that you need to make sure that if it's a team project, that you gather students who have a diverse skill set. One thing that I also really saw was that you need to really find a faculty member or a mentor. That's someone that you can really, help you throughout the process and ultimately just guide you. And last but not least, reach out to your local space grant for funding. It's very important to get funding throughout these projects, and your space grant will be more than happy to fund it because we're always looking for projects for you to participate in. So that's about it for me. There's a short video if we have time. I don't know if you guys hear this.
The Artemis mission with NASA's Artemis Student Challenges.
No matter your background or experience,
you're invited to choose a challenge that interests you, whether it's
rockets,
robots,
tools,
software,
Vehicles.
or other technologies, there's an exciting challenge for you.
So find a mentor and build a team of students.
Review the rules and requirements.
and bring
Your ideas
to life with NASA's Artemis Student Challenges.
Visit stem.nasa.gov/Artemis and see how you can join one of NASA's mission-related student challenges.
I will be happy. Yeah, I'm happy to take questions. Sorry, that did not go through. That work?
Kill your all right, yeah, because this looked up clear. Sorry. So questions?
Still getting an echo on the Zoom meeting.
Questions while we've got
It's some combination of mute and unmute on the two.
So one question. Do you know what for the Glee thing? What's the time scale for getting all those things actually to the moon?
So yeah, they are planning on getting everything to the moon by 2023. So this is not going to be a repetitive project. This is something that you will kind of have to be active on right now. The time scale right now, I think they had also mentioned in the morning talk as well. If you want more information, it's all recorded. But the timeline right now is that there will be remote workshops happening right now. You'll be able to get involved. There's actually there's a selection process. I don't know how selective it is, but you will find out by April 22nd if you really want to get involved. And from there, I think they will send you kit information. They will actually provide you with the kit itself, and then you will be able to construct that on your own time.
Yeah, thanks.
So you mentioned that you participated in this Deep Space Food Challenge.
Yeah.
Can you say a little bit about the ideas you explored?
Sure, yeah. So a lot of the challenges, so I wasn't actually able to get too far into it, but some of the solutions that we did explore were actually using insects as a source of protein for astronauts, something that's very sustainable actually because it produces very minimal waste, and it's also very easy to manage. So that was one of the options that we had explored. Another option that we had was some form of farming system with superfoods, farming algae. The biggest thing for the Deep Space Food Challenge that we did notice was that it was hard to find a solution that was tasty. Because you can find a solution that is nutritious, you can find a solution that is sustainable, but if the astronaut doesn't like the taste, you're not probably going to get a solution that is effective for 9 months. So yeah, that was the biggest challenge. I wasn't able to actually pursue it all the way, so we weren't able to find a proposal, unfortunately, but it was just a great experience to kind of explore the different options that you can get for food for astronauts.
Let's thank the speaker again.
Make one request, or the next speakers, you get ready, but for folks just to